Hi everybody, it's Maiden. Good afternoon, Tuesday, February 5th, 12:12 p.m. And tonight I'm doing this video today for the State of the Union address. And if you follow me, last year I did my own video for the State of the Union address and my own opinions and my own research and my own vision. This year, 2019, I'm going to be reading to you my State of the Union address once again. And I want you to contemplate these issues. And I want to kindly challenge everyone who's, been watching, following me in my videos. Every time I get too controversial, they take off the views from my videos. So it doesn't really look like very many people are following me. When I had my Google account, which I do still have, but I don't use very often, there was over 10,000 followers and they're all gone. So when you are walking this place of freedom, you do not have, you don't have at times a fair representation, if you will. So I want to just say that if you are considering my platform, you are considering my candidacy to support, I want to thank you. I want to speak to those who are even curious, who I've made very curious about my research. I want to thank you for that, and I want to further challenge you to continue to look into what I am speaking about, because it's very real. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and go into this letter, which is the State of the Union Presidential Candidate Address to the shareholders of the United States of America, which should be every citizen of the United States of America and all therein. And on behalf of and in honor of we the people, creating, owning, and stewarding national intrinsic freedom. And this is America in the world. Okay. So on my State of the Union address, you will see a picture of the world. That was an actual photo from NASA. And NASA is very big on the Maiden's plan. So it begins with scope. Historically, the planet Earth is the only planet to date offering ideal atmospheres for the human race population to thrive for thousands of years. In 2020, the planet Earth still holds the majority of the living spaces for the entire human race population. In America, in 2019, America leads the race of freedom, dynasty trusts, and striving for rule of law in good law, beholden to our great united constitutional democracy. The United States of America still leads by our framers' faith in Jesus Christ, in perpetuity stewardship, and freedom in sovereignty, aligned by guarantees in the Holy Bible. America strives to a specific manifest, a specific guarantee, found in God's Word, specific legal attachment wherein all human life and all human life deaths hold proper financial and intrinsic value therein. The historic mission of Christ since 2019 years ago is to free mankind of every oppression. Christ specifically spent 3 days after death cleaning out the pathways to our freedom ahead of time. Therefore, Maiden studies of law, of living, and of all education therein track to a true state of sovereignty, responsibility, reciprocity, and highly untapped intrinsic value, vaults of wealth unto every individual member of America. The Maiden vision sees pathways through higher level quantification thinking, full disclosure of life instrument value, education therein and herein, For example, the inner sanctum finance, the royal math, the men only, good old boys, historical bias, bank structures, looking at higher ROIs, now being challenged to an even playing field in reciprocity, which is a better business model. Remembering all values rising on human life with retro retail price freezes will create a buying tidal wave. All privatization of contracts of old amortization schedules will also be floated on a deferment to reconstruct the contract unto reciprocity structures. Maiden challenges all sectors to create a new earthbound bedrock security founded without apology in the incorruptible promises of God. More than a religion, it's a bank sector guarantee with no corruption intrinsic. There are the anchors of our America unto all. Then I give a courtesy to the NASA Caltech photograph of the world. Then under that it says space. And under that it says Maiden Vision unrolls the blueprint to America for the glory of God unto all. The visual is new space living and new air and space travel. Maiden expands everything on a human life value to human life living and all therein. Maiden recreates the playing field, including one and all, employs one and all, bestows treaty value to one and all, creates from the premise of we the people finally unto all recognized as legal, lawful, rightful, co-heir creators of today's freedom kingdoms of the earth. The kingdoms of America are based in historical perpetuity, which is already established since the beginning of our framers, historical peace redemption, which is quantified from our historical record, and national and international prosperity. Maiden Vision provides new pathways to old unclaimed resources, to new productivity vision, to customize achievement personally, professionally, and in royal order, knowledge and excellence, without obstruction of economic disparity or in any subpar integrity. Page 3. The Maiden's design is one of synergistic living design focused forensically on confirmation of value, of great measure found in intrinsic. This math and science evidence, when researched, proves many options of design offering higher ROI, which is return of investment, and quality of investment for one and all since 2001. General concepts of the Maiden's plan, number 1, is to enter. Each citizen must rededicate the citizenship to become an American sovereign in sovereign stewardship. These are all optional plans, okay? Nobody is forced, nobody is made, but once you decide, these are the entry points, and these are the atmospheres, and these are the ambiance. Number 2, to abide. Each citizen must acknowledge the faith of America's freedom is founded in faith founded by America's framers. We're just going back there and rededicating that. Number 3, to acknowledge freedom, number 3, to acknowledge. Freedom sovereignty will cost every citizen a higher degree of participation to give back to the efforts of freedom infrastructure, freedom security, freedom care, freedom kingdom builders, including full respect of our Constitution of the United States of America. Number 4, to acknowledge. Every citizen is the chief principal security of all intrinsic assets of the human life. They are individually living and corporately together. The worth is restored with the Maiden's plan. Value equals the first draw of $6 billion in trust per human life of a minimum of 100 years. Number 5, to acknowledge this error in value and all damages of past poverty, cruelty, abandonment, neglect, exploitation of labor, contract slavery, wage slavery, and all historic records of past oppressions are now absolved, abolished, and reversion of all flows of return of investment are directed to, quote, we the people, unquote, trust pool of wayward illegitimacy, but now redeemable resources and funds. Number 6, Maiden guidance plan involves all sectors of all current privatization capitalization players. Number 7 rather. Maiden plan is to bring God to the table of negotiations of redemption like no other time on earth. This grace dispensation of the New Testament since 2019 years ago has never formally nationally dispensed of the value unto the high level of human life other than through labor. And that labor wage is grossly disrespected, unbalanced, and impoverished. The Maiden cleans house on all finance systems and then applies new value immediately. Number 8, Maiden follows the first draw with 3 immediate payments by we the people to the world. A, we pay off the national debt incrementally by dividing population into debt for a divisible contribution by each sovereign. B, to set aside 10% tithe unto tribute for church give back and church building. Number C, give a one-time payment of the last flat tax of 15% of total first draw to end and close the IRS for good. Onward and upward, every corporate fiction transfers to be co-operated in all sanctums of finance to the individual principle, which is every human citizen of the United States of America. This will result in a worldwide re-education to introduce intrinsic value measures, brand new measures. Actually, they're not brand new, they're old, but they're brand new to the introduction of disclosure unto America. Maiden will create a safe haven control group for all stocks and bonds to float on hedged waters to absorb all fluctuations beyond normal trading ranges. Flotation time will mirror the 4-year plan to bring forward all value in secure infrastructures honoring value paradigms of commerce, current, present, and future for all. Redemption is the model of focus, taking any criminal action to stop at the table of truce, surrender, and full intent to turn away from illegitimate criminal flows and structures. America needs a fresh breath of care, love, honor, value, blessings, and faith in our God and the abilities of one and all. As America stands for this paradigm of freedom, of value, we grow, we learn, we strive anew for creating lives where the American dream is fulfilled finally in supporting, being supported, and offering support of sovereign, supported, freedom nation, aka the United States of America. This holds fast to the old-fashioned classic American standards while embracing empowerment to learn, to reach, and excel in all realms of living free, right now, in the present, and obviously growing to thrive in the future. Maiden Misha G. Valdez, Missionary Forensic Finance, guides through holy redemption of finance, honoring and opening the way never attained by the grace and love of God offered so long ago. These are our, in America, uncorruptible promises of God. Maiden hands provisions of value over to, quote, we the people, to literally bring water in the desert of poverty of every kind to now be legislatively over as well as financially here and now. Financially, the pathways to the wealth are finally approved to be opened and shared properly with one and all. This is my State of the Union address, and I want to finally close by saying that the current state of our union is so fractured and currently so broken that it is when we are alone in our time, in our quiet spaces, one and all, as a nation and personally, as citizens of the United States, we close our eyes and bow our heads and think about our country, and every human life feels so vulnerable here in America. But I want you to take a deep breath in that quiet space. I want you to think about the options of all of the different people who are going to run for president in 2020, in just a short year from now. And I want you to really honestly, please, I urge you, I implore you, my fellow citizens of America, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, grandparents, everyone who's here from other countries who would like to stay in America. I need you to pray for me. I need you to pray that God will take this vision and all of these years of research to see this clearly and understand this clearly and understand the great and the small at the same tables of negotiations, of the poor and the rich at the same tables of negotiations, of the great, of the small, of the vulnerable and the weak, with the strong and those that stand only in their strengths. I want to say to all that there is a time that we will all pass on from this life. We will all give an account before a mighty, mighty God of what did we do while we were here as a country with our faith in the one true God that has been proven to be a real Savior of this world. That we will stand strong when we stand before God, and when we give an account, we will know deep in our hearts that we maintained our relationship with God, that we did our best to honor God, and we did so much in building these infrastructures of freedom unto respect for our framers, our Constitution, our human lives, every single one, and every single thing that they felt was important to include in their family dynamic, everybody being so different, diverse, that America did strive to open those pathways, those infrastructures of freedom. Up until this point, this structure has been so lopsided, giving all of the American public, we the people, the burden of every setback, every debt, every burden of the bankers, which are few but mighty up until this time. They have given the debt, they've given the burden, they've given. It's just like the story of Moses looking unto Pharaoh to free the people. And when Moses really was going to task with Pharaoh, they were literally talking about the labor, all of the back-breaking labor to build those pyramids, to build these kingdoms of pharaohs, to build all of this. They never built the people's kingdom. They never built the people's vaults of value. They were always slaves. They were slaves then. We are indentured servants now on paper, and God is wanting immediate leadership to step in, and national security leadership to step in and realize that your evidence of the criminalities for over 300 years is sitting underneath these tax traps, these IRS tax traps that are select only to the very, very rich. I want our President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, to know I am of a support factor behind you. I am running for president, and the Republican Party literally could be considered your competition. But what is more important to me is to represent a mission statement, a mission stand, a mission vision, which is for all. And so I have great respect for President Trump, because I do understand the paradigms of non-disclosure of before you get into this office of the presidency of the United States or any office, you really do not understand the secrets. You do not understand the classified documents. You do not understand all of the issues until you actually get into that office and then start seeking to really understand the truth and the true condition of our country, the United States of America, the true condition of our people of the United States of America, the true condition of the value of everyone serving this country, and upside down value, by the way. And God is needing leadership to start making a stand in a mighty, mighty way that has never been done before for the truth, for the purity, for the innocence of our children, for the education of all of our citizens of the United States of America, that they would be so astute in understanding their own finance, which they don't know, and as well as when they become these ambassadors of sovereignty for America, they can travel all over the world and have a very, very clear understanding of the countries we travel to, the plight they're in. May we please help if we can, and not destroy, not cause harm to ourselves or to others. So the true state of the union correctly now is that the union is, I believe, still here. Our union is very, very deeply rooted, and I believe that America's heart, collectively and individually, is a union that is based in faith and in hope. And that is a powerful union, because faith and hope transcend all other very shallow paradigms of the external. Faith and hope in God, faith and hope in we the people, faith and hope in God we trust, that is written on our security and currency, faith and hope in our military to be strong and not lose heart about the power that they represent in this mighty nation of America. Faith and hope is what has brought us here. And may we humble ourselves as God humbles himself to us every single day, to draw close to us, to make us the fullness of who he created us to be. We are now in this space. So in the state of union, of our country, I want you to hold on. I want you never, ever, ever to throw that down and say it's so broken, it's so divided, it's unhealable. That isn't the truth. The faith and the hope in our union, even though it can appear to be broken, is still very strong. We love each other in America. We are so different than each other, but when it comes down to it, we love each other, okay? And the State of the Union is based in our highest asset of America, and that is our bonds of love. And I reach to you as the Maiden of Santa Fe, Misha G. Valdez, as a true missionary, finance unto all, unto peace, by the vision of God. I give you my hand. I reach to you my hand, and I ask you to take my hand and take the hand of those around you, and let us pray for each other, that we will love ourselves. We will forgive ourselves of our failures. We will not quit. We will get back up. We will reach for those next to us. We will love our neighbors as God says to love our neighbors as ourselves, and love God with all our heart. And that is it. It is a simple calling, but very, very difficult with all of the distractions corruptions, all of the lies, all of the counterfeits. We have to be smarter. We have to dust up our Bibles, bring it back to the table of our home, of our dinner tables, of our tables of conversation, back to the tables of these negotiations of treaties of peace, because it is the only incorruptible promise that we can literally bring forward to bring peace unto all. I truly do love you, because God shows me his great love for our country, America, my brothers and sisters who are my fellow citizens, my president, even though, my Congress, even though, I mean, we all have faults. But I want you to know I love you. I believe in all of you. I believe in the power of our democracy. I believe in the power of our Congress. I believe in the power of our framers many, many, many years ago. I believe in the power of that Calvary's cross that said to the thief on the cross at the very end, who asked for forgiveness, Jesus said, "Today you will be with me in paradise." That was the very first conversation that thief had with God, with Jesus, and that was the most important conversation. Brief may it be, but so powerful unto eternity. Let us bring America back to the true union of our love for each other, our faithfulness and loyalty to every division of commerce and finance, to every division of all those that give their lives to make America the fiber of freedom that it is, and say thank you. I want to thank all of our industries. I want to thank all of our different sectors of living. I want to thank all of our sectors of the arts, all of our sectors of sports, all of our sectors of intellectualism, of science and math, our education systems, all of our teachers, all of everything, that everyone that has been giving themselves in this faithfulness of labor and performance, when in reality God is saying, this is a dispensation of grace and I have a great gift for you. And this is what God has shown me. We will never stop working as unto making sure we're faithful when he does show up, that we have something wonderful to present unto him when he does come. Let us all be busy about our Father's business, and let us honor these that went before us and gave their lives, especially those in leadership and presidencies, and in those who are activists, like who just walked for this freedom, who marched for this freedom. And this is why the America I know needs to vote Misha G. Valdez on the ballot. You need to fill it in, the popular vote, whatever it takes, but bring me to the table of these debates, and I promise you, I will not let you down. We cannot afford, America, to bring in and vote for another charming president, when in reality we need a president with a very, very vivid plan of understanding how to bring this finance of the great and the small to the same table of redemption. And what are they doing? And I can promise you, I will represent so strong if you give me this chance. I love you all. God bless you, and may God bless the America we all know, the United States of America. I love you guys. Bye-bye.